Deniro.com.
So I mentioned before about this pyramid modification that you have in ancient Egypt and the way it changes the energy. Well, one thing they wanted Ibrahim to do when he went to the Egyptian National Research Center is they wanted him to work in a project where the very first thing is you have two different cell cultures in Petri dishes. You're going to leave one alone, and it's a very fast replicating culture. The other one, just by using one simple geometry, they wanted him to kill everything in the Petri dish. And the first thing Ibrahim said is, biogeometry is not for killing. I'm not going to kill anything. I'm not going to be involved in any projects involved with killing, even if it's a cellular culture. But what I can do is I can show you that I can, using a very simple geometric form, I can paralyze all life activity, and it will go into a state of suspended animation. And he did that, and they validated it. I have the original document from the Egyptian National Research Center where the fellow said, he did it, I can't explain it. It doesn't fit any of our paradigms of modern science, but he can do it. And so at that point, they started an entire research project with Ibrahim at the head to see the way that geometries can affect living beings. Now, one of the things I want to bring out here, this is a little side note, but I always think it's really fascinating. When I showed you before about the pyramid, and that the pyramid had a modification that changed its energy in a very significant way, there's a deeper part of all this. For instance, in some of the French work with radiesthesia, they would stack multiple hemispheres together, and they would then magnify the amount of negative green coming out of it. Now, one of the problems is that they did not modify the form of the hemisphere to get rid of the detrimental effect, so that they magnified the detrimental as well as the beneficial. And then in time they figured out we can only stack so many before the amount of energy becomes harmful. But another thing is that when I talked to Ibrahim about it, he says, you know, there's something else here, and that the French didn't understand. And that is that it's not simply the energy that you are getting detectably out of the form, and that by stacking too many together, you're getting this detrimental energy. He says, you've forgotten about resonance, and that is that that shape is in resonance with something somewhere else. If you begin to stack those forms up together, and a whole lot of them together, you've not only created a strong concentration of their energy, you've also created a very strong resonance with whatever it is that they connect to. And so I then had another veil taken away, and they began to show me more about creating resonance with other realms according to various types of shapes. And this can also be applied not only to higher realms, but to various levels of the human subtle body. Because what did we say before? Every level of the human subtle body came from somewhere else. It's all part of a resonance system.